Sports offer like resilience, right? So people love to hear the word resilience. People love to see people overcome obstacles, overcome things that could stop them from achieving their goals. And people love that. That's what people love about sports. They love to see it. They love to see people who overcome difficult situations, difficult days, difficult relationships, difficult financial statuses, and overcome and prosper. I mean, we just saw that with the US election. People like the overcoming Trump did from being out of office to getting into office. But the Detroit Lions are a story of resilience. They're not the only ones, but let's discuss. So, yesterday, the Detroit Lions beat the Houston Texans in a Sunday night thriller that felt like the Super Bowl for the Houston Texans and a really important game for the Detroit Lions, where they keep pace, number one team in the NFC. Having the number one seed has become so much more important in the NFL the last few years, with only one team getting a bye week into the playoffs. So all you have to do is win two games, you're in the Super Bowl, versus if you had the one or two seed back in the day, all you had to do is win two games, you're into the Super Bowl. Now, if you do not have the number one overall seed, you have to win three straight games, probably one of them on the road, to reach that promised land and get your franchise to a Super Bowl. So it's a completely different now situation. This is a situation where teams are vying for that number one overall seed because it's so important. But that's what the Lions did yesterday. They prospered under difficult circumstances, to say the least. Jared Goff threw five interceptions yesterday. Five, and that's not a typo. At some point, when I heard five, I had to like look through my phone, and I was like, "Was that really five?" It was. It was five interceptions for Jared Goff. And Dan Campbell said it after the game. You guys fought back. You didn't let anything get in your way. And I think that's what people around the country and people, of course, in Detroit who root for the Lions are loving about this Detroit Lions football team. They're a team that's just like, I don't care what you throw our way. I don't care if this looks like a hard circumstance. They're going to go, in my opinion, to the Super Bowl probably and play. Well, I'm picking the Ravens, but they might play the Chiefs and they're not going to care. They're not going to care that the Chiefs are going for a three-peat. They're not going to care that Patrick Mahomes is on the other side. Dan Campbell has this team believing that and I mean anything that comes their way, they can overcome and prosper against. That includes a injury to Aiden Hutchinson, their heart and soul of their defense, their best player on defense. That includes Jared Goff throwing five picks yesterday. There was no, doesn't matter. We're going to win. He, even with their kicker, who was a brick salesman earlier this year, kicked the game winning field goal. He overcame. Overcome, obstacle doesn't matter for the Detroit Lions. What they do is win, believe in themselves. And I think that's a story that galvanizes sports fans. That's what sport fans like to see. We like to see people fall down, get back up. And Jared Goff himself is a whole story of that. Not just the five interceptions yesterday, but his whole career. The Rams took him number one overall. Jeff Fisher, I was trying to remember the head coach's name. Jeff Fisher threw him in there. No one really liked him. Sean McVay came in, rescued his career. He had a bad Super Bowl, shipped him out of town. Everyone wrote Jared Goff off, and he keeps winning. Sure, he had five picks. Yes, he ended his chances of winning the MVP award. But it doesn't matter. I don't think that's what's concerning the Detroit Lions. What concerns the Detroit Lions is winning football games, coming back from hard situations, and overall just being that team that that's what sport fans like to see, the Detroit Lions.